Part 80. Demon concubine made these soul-searching flags, as the national flag for the Holy Dynasty. This sleep, Yi Yang slept until the third day before getting up. He had just finished taking a shower, and before he had time to walk around the kitchen, Jun Yi walked into the courtyard. He looked at Yi Yang, who was yawning, and remembered the madness last night. He said, "Just got up?" "Well." Yi Yang glanced at eunuch Yun behind Jun Yi, saw that he was holding a thick stack of paper in his arms, and asked curiously, "What is that?" "The people are designing the national flag, and I have spent my eyes choosing, but I have not been satisfied with the selection. So I sent it over to concubine Yi to help you choose." Jun Yi thought of the pile of national flag patterns, and his head was dizzy. He never thought about it. The people's thinking is so strange. And there are all kinds of strange patterns. Hearing the national flag, Yi Yang was refreshed. He stepped forward, picked up the top piece of paper and looked at it. Looking at the fancy pattern above, his forehead is full of black lines. It's just that the picture is full of flowers and plants. If this is used as a national flag, it will definitely torture the people who make the national flag crazy. He quickly picked up another piece of paper and looked at it. Compared with the previous one, this picture was much simpler. In the middle was the sacred beast that the Holy Dynasty admired, and it looked very dignified. It's not good. It's not like a national flag, but a military flag. So he shook his head in dissatisfaction and looked at the next one. He looked at dozens of patterns in a row, but each pattern was almost artistic. He picked up another one and looked at the pattern on it. His forehead was full of black lines again. He didn't know who was the talent who drew this pattern. If he knew who it was, he would definitely be blacklisted. "I actually think this pattern is very good." Jun Yi pointed to the pattern that Yi Yang didn't want to see, and set it aside. "What?" Yi Yang was stunned. Seeing his reaction so big, Jun Yi wondered if his aesthetics really ran counter to Yi Yang's. "I think this pattern is really good. The whole flag is dominated by pure white, which symbolizes the purity and love of the Holy Dynasty. The red sun in the middle represents the glory and blessings of the whole Holy Dynasty. If you want to choose this pattern as the national flag, I will definitely cut off my friendship with you." This pattern in front of his eyes was obstructing his eyes. If this flag was used in the entire Holy Dynasty in the future, he would definitely be disgusted to death. Jun Yi didn't know why Yi Yang was so disgusted with this pattern. Seeing that he didn't like it, he had to give up. "Okay, don't choose. You can continue to choose others." Yi Yang put this pattern at the bottom, and then went to see below. Most of the rest are the sacred beasts revered by the Holy Dynasty. But the location is different. It seems that the people of this dynasty still respect the sacred beasts in their hearts. "It's too much, and my eyes are dazzled." Yi Yang shook his head and said, "Your Majesty, you can choose it yourself. As long as you don't choose the pattern with the sun in the middle, the rest will be fine." Anyway, he saw so much. No flag could compare to the red flag in his heart. "I ask you to give advice, not to let you decide." If he could decide, he would not come to Yi Yang for advice. "But these patterns are all the same, so how can I give my opinion? Or just this one? The beast in the middle is majestic and in line with the public's aesthetics." Yi Yang picked up a piece of paper and handed it to Jun Yi. Jun Yi was really speechless. He was about to complain about Yi Yang's irresponsibility, but Yi Yang let out a sigh, instantly grabbing his attention, and hurriedly looked at Yi Yang. Yi Yang didn't want to care about the national flag. After all, it's important to leave it to Jun Yi to decide. Who knew that he was about to return the paper to eunuch Yun? When he saw the paper eunuch Yun was dragging with both hands, there was a very dazzling pattern. The overall pattern is dominated by red, while a yellow vertical wide strip is drawn in the left third, and a horizontal wide strip is drawn in the upper third. And at the intersection of the vertical width bar and the horizontal width bar, another red circle is drawn. He picked up this picture and looked at it for a while, and found that the more he looked at it, the more he liked it. The colors were bright, which attracted people's attention for the first time anywhere. Junyi looked at the pattern in his hand. The bright colors were nothing to say, but the pattern was too monotonous. Compared with the patterns painted with divine beasts, it instantly dropped several grades. Just as he was about to shake his head, he inadvertently caught a glimpse of many small characters written on the back of the paper. He took the paper from Yi Yang's hand, turned it over and looked at it. Yi Yang also noticed a few lines of small characters written on the back of the paper. He leaned over and looked at the words on it, and found that his eyes were darkened, and he didn't recognize the words at all. Yi Yang couldn't hold back his inner curiosity and asked curiously, "What did he write?" Junyi was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect Yi Yang to be illiterate. He did not ask at the moment, but read the words above, "Respected sage." If you have the chance to see this picture, please read it patiently. The horizontal and wide bars above represent the mother of our Holy Dynasty, the river. The vertical and wide bars on the left represent the river, the father of our Holy Dynasty, and the circle in the middle represents the stars in the night sky. And it also represents you. Reading the words above, the corner of Junyi's mouth couldn't help but rise. To be praised by his own people is the highest honor of every emperor. After listening to the explanation, Yi Yang couldn't help nodding. This is good. A national flag not only has a father river and a mother river that nurture the people of the world, but also Junyi, who is dedicated to the people, is more meaningful than the beast pattern. This is good. If the circle in the middle is replaced by a 5-pointed star, the effect will be better. Yi Yang felt that since the people of the Holy Dynasty respected the stars, the effect might be better if the circle was replaced by a 5-pointed star. Pentagon? Junyi didn't know what a 5-pointed star was, so he asked. This 5-pointed star represents a star. Which is more artistic than this circle? Yi Yang saw that Junyi still didn't understand. Thinking that he had never seen a 5-pointed star, he hurriedly went to his study, picked up a pen and started to draw a 5-pointed star. Junyi followed behind him and saw that he picked up the brush and started to draw. He didn't bother, but picked up the book on the desk and flipped through it, just looking at the strange words on the paper, with a confused expression. "What did you write? I can't understand it at all." Seeing that he was reading his novel, Yi Yang thought, "Novel, what else could it be?" He didn't explain. He handed the drawn 5-pointed star to Junyi and said with a smile, "Your Majesty, this is the 5-pointed star I said. Isn't it more beautiful than a circle?" Junyi looked at the 5-pointed star on the paper. The first time he saw such a novel pattern, he was instantly attracted. "This is good. I feel that the 5-pointed star is more vivid." Junyi nodded again and again. He was suddenly curious. Where did Yi Yang live, and why did he know so many strange things? Yi Yang changed the circle on the pattern to a red 5-pointed star, and then handed it to Junyi. "Your Majesty, I think this pattern is good, so let's use it as the national flag of our Holy Dynasty." Junyi looked at the bright red flag. The blood in the heart is surging. This is the flag of their Holy Dynasty. From now on, the place where this flag is placed will be the Holy Dynasty. After the flag pattern was finalized, Junyi immediately sent the picture to the Ministry of Industry, so that the people in the Ministry of Industry could rush it out as soon as possible. The craftsmen of the Ministry of Industry have not been so busy for a long time. They work in shifts overnight. After the third day, dozens of red and yellow flags were planted on the wall of the holy city, arousing the curiosity of the people. What is that? It's like a military flag. This is going to be a war? Some people panicked and were really afraid of another war. I saw the sign at the front door just now, saying it was a national flag. The person who replied had a look of disdain. If he had the money to make a useless national flag, he might as well give him this money to marry a wife. What a waste of money. What's the use of spending so much energy to fix so many national flags? You can't eat them. A man with a pointed mouth and monkey cheeks saw them chatting about the national flag. He stepped forward and whispered, "I heard that the emperor listened to the slander of the demon concubine and made this flag." Demon concubine? The people around were all dumbfounded, wondering who the demon concubine he was talking about was. Who is this demon concubine? Why haven't I heard of it? Someone asked curiously. When the man saw everyone's curious eyes, he lowered his voice and whispered, "I heard from a friend of mine who works in the palace. He said that the emperor had recently fallen in love with a demon concubine, and he revolved around that demon concubine all day. He doesn't even care about national affairs. I also heard that these flags are not national flags at all. They are soul-searching flags, which are designed to absorb people's young energy and then feed the demon concubine." Take a few steps back, far away from the city wall. It seems that such rumors are in the minority, and the others look at the bright red flag and only think that the country is wasting money, not thinking about fantasy. They don't know the meaning of this flag now, and they will only know the cohesion brought by this flag after a few years later, when this flag is planted everywhere in this continent. And the districts and counties under the jurisdiction of the Holy Dynasty also planted red flags one after another, so that the people of the Holy Dynasty knew that the places where the red flags were planted were the Holy Dynasty. In this matter, Wang Zongxing, who designed this flag, was the happiest. Although the circle was replaced by a five-pointed star where the two yellow stripes intersected, he felt that the five-pointed star was more in line with the star in his mind. Moreover, he also received a large reward for designing this flag, and slapped the neighbors who said all kinds of nasty things in the face. In fact, the reward is not what makes him happiest. But what makes him happiest is that his name will go down in history. From now on, everyone knows that the first national flag in history was designed by him, which is of great significance and will make him proud for a lifetime. For a time, the Holy Dynasty went up to the royal power and wealth, down to the common people. All of them were discussing the new national flag.